student from Miss Hansberger's class. In my presentation today, we will start off with pros and cons about the ocean. Then, after that, I will show you 3 sea animals that I've researched for my project. Next up is adaptations of the 3 sea animals. Then my handmade drawings. And last but not least, links of the sites I used. So, positives and negatives about the ocean. There are many natural disasters like hurricanes, typhoons, and waterspouts. Many ships have leaks that can pour oil into the ocean, which harms sea animals. And when chemicals, industrial waste, and oil spills reach the ocean, it harms plants and sea animals in the ocean. Positives. There is no limited amount of water for drinking unless you use a filter to clean it. Some of the animals have the same colors as their surroundings so they can hide from their predators. And water stops you from getting sick or having diseases. It can even heal you. Okay. After this slide, I will give you more information on 3 cool sea animals: octopus, seahorse, and jellyfishes. I chose these animals because very interesting articles and cool pictures about those animals show up while I'm reading different articles. What they are. Octopuses are sea animals who have 8 arms and the arms have suckers. They're also intervibrates. Intervibrates means that they have no backbone. Their habitat is in the ocean and they can live in any zone and any ocean. They weigh 3 to 10 kilograms. Their top speed is 40 miles per hour and their lifespan is 1 year or 2. And their diet is carnivores. That means they eat meat. Their shelters and protection is their dens. So some octopuses make doors that open and close, and since they have good memory, they remember where they had their den. And they also use the den to lay eggs. The types and ways to hide. There are many octopuses, and one of them are the giant Pacific octopus, which is my favorite. They camouflage with their colors to hide from predators, or they use the ink, which is made of melodin. I'll tell you more in the fun fact. To trick their predators so they have more time to escape. They eat crabs, shrimp, and lobsters. Sometimes they even eat sharks. And these are the interesting facts. Octopuses can tell the future. They have these cells that are outside of their blood veins. When they increase, it gets darker. And when it decreases, it gets lighter. Their blood is blue because the cells are coated with copper. And they have 3 hearts. One works for the tentacles, one works for the head, and one works for the rest of the body connections. Their ink is melanin, which is this black stuff in our eyes, and the substance that makes our hair black. And these are a few fun facts how people know that octopuses are the smartest creatures. So they test by putting them in a tank with a maze. At the end is their favorite food, crabs. So they're they know enough to solve problems. So they they wake up at night, so that's the time the human has gone away. And when the human comes back, the scientist comes back, he sees at the end of the maze there is the no food. So it was able to solve the problem. I'll skip this slide. Jellyfish. Jellyfishes are intervibrates. They have 15 tentacles that are 6 feet long. And their bells can be like 10 feet long. Their, their lifespan, size, and parts of body are their weight is like 440 pounds. Their tentacles uh, can be like 10 feet too. They have mouths, bells, eyes, and tentacles. So, like, but no brain, no blood, no blood veins, no heart. None of that. So, the interesting facts are how does the jellyfish sting? So, that is the main part. So, when the sting cells touch something, they activate by pop the top of the sting cells pops open, and inside of the sting cell is a harpoon loaded up with venom, and then it shoots out like a bow and arrow, and then it hits the enemy or prey. That even happens to some tiny small jellyfish that can happen anytime with humans. And these are a few fun facts. They're used in Chinese medicine. And some of the jellyfish start off so small and then they turn into 10 feet jellyfish. Seahorse. Seahorses are vibrates. Vibrates is basically the opposite of intervibrates. So they have a long neck and tail. They have this small O or whatever kind of shape that nose mouth is. It's used for sucking up mice's shrimp. Where they live, you can find most of these animals in coral reefs, or you could find them in the twilight zone. So how they give birth? So they have this special process where the male gives birth. It gives birth to 1,050 at once. The lifespan is like 1 to 5 years, and they weigh like 7 ounces and 1 pound. They eat mice's shrimp. Mice's shrimp are really small, so that's why seahorses are so small. And the only thing these little guys do all day long is like they eat mice's shrimp. Okay, so these are a few adaptations of my animals. So the first one is how they use their tail. They use it to. They have these little scales that scrape on and get tight onto the seagrass or whatever it's holding onto. So that helps it not get uh, like washed off during a wave or a storm. They have the same, they can change their color to hide from predators too. They live in coral reefs because there are more mice than shrimp. That's why I said they live more in coral reefs. The octopuses use their color to hide from predators too. They make dens so they can lay eggs, like I told you. And they're nocturnal because there are less predators at night. Like sharks also are awake at night and hunting for fish at night, so that must be easier for the octopus. The jellyfishes use transparency or whatever color, whatever they have to hide from their predators too. They use tentacles and sting cells to catch their prey. And some jellyfish give off light, like the box jellyfish, who can live in the midnight zone so they don't bump into obstacles. Special meaning: box jellyfish. Box jellyfishes are the most venomous jellyfishes in the whole world. And next slide. And these are a few handmade drawings I made on my own. I kind of looked at Google and then I tried to draw them out with pencils. I have these new Sharpies. So basically, I've also wrote a few like labels. So if you zoom in, but by your own, so you can see the parts. So this is a bell, first of all. If you go up, so the blue part is the bell. This like furry thing that looks furry but it's not, look, is the stinger, and these small curvy lines are the tentacles. If you go to the seahorses, it says there are wings at the spine. There can be little designs, but it doesn't matter. I made these colors on my own. There is this mouth, belly, eye, and tail. And further up is my octopus, which has tentacles, eyes, and suckers. So these are reference links of the sites I use. So I just colored these blue and made them underlined. So if you go to Google Chrome, you type in National Geographic for Kids. Then you'll see, go down from the books, ignore those. You see this cool site. You click on it, you got the site. Then you go up, and then if you see animals, you can use the things that I said. Like there were intervibrates. There, I also found a link about the ocean. So that's also a way to explore. And prehistoric is basically the dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, but I don't really search on them. But you can if you want to. But National Geographic is a good link. Thanks for listening, and special thanks to my mom and dad who gave me the proper resources to find the right content, materials, and guidance. And thanks to Miss Hansberger too. Thank you for taking your time to listen to my PowerPoint today.